Hi everyone, welcome to Elementary Math with Mr. Scott. Today we're going to be diving into multiplication. And we're going to be looking at two different ways to do that. We're going to be using the standard algorithm, which the way most moms and dads, and the way I was taught, brought up. We're also going to be looking at the distributive property, kind of a box method, a way of multiplying. So let's go ahead and jump into what we're doing today. Now we're going to be multiplying here one digit by two or three, I guess in this case a three-digit number. And so we're going to go ahead and do that. Now with Common Core, say test, they're going to expect them to be able to do the distributive method. There's a couple variations of it, but this is the one I'm going to be showing you today. So we're going to start with, this is what our number is, 234 times 6. So in the distributive method, we're going to be taking this number, 234, and putting it in expanded form, okay? What's expanded? What's where we break it into its parts. So the ones place is the 4, and then the 3 is in the tens place, so that means it's worth 30, right? And then the 2 is in the hundreds place, so that means it's 200, okay? And I'm going to make this one just a little bit bigger here if I can. Oops, I got to come up here and grab this. Is in the 200s place. And so what we're doing is we're just taking this number. The distributive method says that we take a number, we break it into its parts, we can multiply it, each individual part, and then we add it back together. That's what's happening here. And so what we did is we took this 234, we broke it into parts. Now we're going to go ahead and multiply it times 6, right? Because we have to multiply 6 by every part. Up here, we do this in the standard algorithm. We're going to be doing the same thing here, okay? So 6 times 4, we're going to go ahead and put 24 in there, right? And then I teach the kids to do the basic fact. And when it has a 0, you just add the 0 on. So 6 times 3 is 18, but then there's a 0 up there with the 30, so I need to add a 0 on there. And same thing here with 6 times 2 is 12, and there's 2 zeros up there, so I need to put 2 zeros in. Those are some of the common mistakes that kids make, is they forget the zeros or don't put all the zeros, and especially numbers where you have like 4 times 5, which has a 0 in it, like the answer is 20. And then they think that's one of the zeros. So that's one of the common mistakes that kids make, so make sure that you don't make those mistakes. Now, again, the distributive property says I break it apart, I multiply the parts, which we just did. Now I'm going to go ahead and add all those parts, okay? So I have 1,200, and I really recommend that students put them in order from largest to smallest. It just makes it easier, and they tend to have fewer mistakes when they do it that way, okay? All right, so I need to take those numbers and then add them together. So 0 plus 0 plus 4, and I'm going to use a pencil here. It makes it a little easier, is 4, okay? Then I have 8 plus 2, which is 10. I carry the 1 now. Again, this is where I start dot counting. If you don't remember, go back to addition where I talk about dot counting. 2, 3, 4. Okay, and then I bring down my 1 because there's no other thing to add to it. Okay, so that's how you use the standard algorithm. Now I'm going to go ahead and do, the distributive method. Now I'm going to do the standard algorithm. Again, I'm going to show you quickly what happens. We're multiplying the 6 and the 4, and then we multiply the 6 and the 3, and then we multiply the 6 and the 2. And remember, anything that we have left over that we carry over on top, we're going to be adding, okay? So I'll show you that here as we do it. I'm going to do this one in red. So 6 times 4 is 24. So I put my 4 down and I carry my 2, right? Just like we do in adding, when I have extra tens, then I've got to carry it over. So now I'm doing this. Remember the loop that was here. 6 times 3 is 18. And then dot counting, 19, 20. So I put my 0 in here, and I carry my 2. Again, remember then I had the loop where I have 6 times 2. 6 times 2 is 12, 13, 14. And I put my 4 down. And again, you can see here we have the same answer, 1,404 for each of them. Now that's the distributive method, and that's the standard algorithm method. So again, different ways of doing it, coming up with the same answer. You can see that this one is much shorter and quicker, but a little more difficult to understand. This one, kids seem to pick up really fast, really easy, but it does require you to make a box. You know, look how much more work you have to do to put into it. So I do really like to start teaching the distributive method, proper way of doing it, and then we head to the standard algorithm, like, oh, this is way faster. It is. So, all right, when we thank you for watching the video. I hope this was successful for you today, and thank you for being here. And remember, math can be fun.